Bonjour, bonjour, welcome back to my channel. I'm DMC, I'm an artist based in Atlanta. I do anime, realism, and illustration. If you'd like to check some of my artwork, I'm gonna put down below the link of my social media and my portfolio. So I hope you guys are doing great today, and I hope you guys had a good rest of the weekend as well. Hopefully this week is gonna be easy, but today I'm gonna make a little video a bit different, and I'm sorry if I kind of look kind of tired or odd. I'm just kind of not feeling maybe under the weather. But today I'm gonna be making a video about my sketchbook tour. So this sketchbook I'm gonna be talking about, I'm gonna compare it with this or last year's sketchbook, kind of what I drew on a sketchbook, because I didn't complete it all the sketchbook completely. I just stopped at a certain point, or one of them that I finished it, I didn't completely colored it. So I'm gonna be showing you guys that which is gonna be 2022 sketchbook against we can say 2010. So why did I choose 2010 is because that's one of the sketchbooks that I had a lot of more information, or kind of went through a lot of different experience due to being a senior in high school. So I was working towards doing the AP Art Studio, which was AP 2D, 3D Art Studio, and I wanted to share with you guys my progress so you guys can see that practicing every day actually works, and you can follow a few of my tips from my previous video I did it last week. Probably I'll show you guys or put a link down below on my information or a thumbnail so you guys can see which video I'm talking about. But I wanted to share with you guys the progress I did from, I guess we can say 10 years, kind of like 10 years from 2010 to 2022. So yeah, let's get into it. So side note, before I move on showing the clips, I'm gonna probably bring one of my lights right here with the phone so you guys can see a little more deep into the sketchbook. But I do have plenty of other sketchbook, even I have drawings even before when I was in high school, but the other ones are a little more messy, which I will show. The reasons why I didn't have or was not focusing as much on sketchbook was because I was working on doing a lot of manga. So what happens is that manga helped me a lot to do movements and create different scenarios of my own OC. But I do have plenty of sketchbooks where currently I'm looking at them. I have plenty of sketchbook, but I believe this one, it's very important because you guys can see the subject that I was doing on AP Art. And I'll explain you guys a little more about how AP Art worked for me. So if you're a senior during, I don't know if currently they're working like that on high school, but if you're a senior, you're getting into AP Art, probably my sketchbook will help you a little, and hopefully it will. But this is what I was working on my sketchbook and my sketches, and I'll post the finished pieces of the actual drawing that I had on my sketchbook that I made it on a big canvas. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so now I have my phone right here and I'm gonna show you guys, hopefully you guys can see it. So this is a sketchbook. Obviously it looks kind of beat up. So it was the teacher assigned us to have a matted or kind of a sketchbook like that, hard covered, because usually it's considered as a journal. So that's how it looked. And obviously I have here, it shows what was the course it was for. It was AP Art 2D, and my concentration was the Night of Medieval Time. I know that concentration was not a good idea, because what happened was that I didn't decide. I was very in this time, and I'm still in, but in that time I was exploring a lot with medieval time and knights and stuff like that. So I was very excited to use that as my subject, kind of like when you're in AP Art, you're supposed to do 12 pieces or a concentration of 12 pieces of that subject, and then 12 pieces of another, kind of doing different kind of stuff. So what happened is that I did everything to be medieval time, so it was in total of 24 pieces I was supposed to finish at the end of the year. So that was my very first front page I did. I was listening to a music back then, I can remember, and I just wrote plenty of things in the back. I was experimenting with Prismacolors and doing knife and stuff like that. So that's the very first page of how it looked. Here, that's the second page. I try to do, the teacher was telling us to work on creating pieces during the summer, and here it's, yeah, that was the summer. That's when I find out I was gonna have AP. Oops, sorry, but you can see here it's 7/10. Well, it was July the 2nd of 2010, and I wrote like a little kind of a background and what I was thinking, or what is kind of a study about it. What do you think when you hear medieval times? So I kind of went a little off with the page and kind of writing about the story of what I feel about medieval time. Why do I love medieval time and stuff like that? So I was very excited to share with everyone when I was going to be in class about medieval time, but I didn't know this concentration was going to be very hard, because you are supposed to use that subject and kind of transform it in different kind of styles and kind of a story, and try so many things. And medieval time, Knives of Medieval Time is so big, so broad, that there's so much you can do, but at the same time it's so confusing, and I decided to use it. So I was already doing some designs and story like that, and I remember my teacher, she was not into anime, so she was thinking that this was too animated than realism, so I fully understand. Okay, moving forward, the teacher gave us a kind of a prompt list of what we were supposed to do during summer, like kind of homework. So they told us to do a still life. I did a still life back then. I had like a tape thing. Oh my god, this is shaking so much, I'm so sorry. So there was like the tape right there, and there was a few scissors. I was doing a lot of still life at that time, and it was July the 2nd. Another still life, trying out and just trying to make it, drawing from what I see and practicing on it. Another still life, that was on the July 18, 2010. And at this one, I was very confident. I really like how I was trying out a new kind of style, or kind of doing some different, instead of just smudging with the finger, I was doing actually with the pencil, and just trying out with cross hatching and a little of stapling. And here was a very, I think, another thumbnail, not a thumbnail, another assignment the teacher asked us to do. It was to kind of create or write about your subject you're choosing, and kind of like what you like about. And I did that. It's kind of a diary I wrote here, and I used different kind of thing. I was using paint right here, and kind of call it the Moon Watcher. And that was July 21st, so we're getting close to the year to start. And I was doing a lot of drawings with nights still. I really like the moon still, but the thing is, I felt like it was still too animated for what the teacher wanted, which I again, like I mentioned, I understand some teachers don't like anime. Nowadays it's very okay to use anime and draw animated characters. Before, I'm saying like years, like 10 years or 12 years ago, teacher didn't like that. They believe anime was not real art. And then here's is another still life drawing. I was looking at some flowers. I believe my mom has some bouquets, and I just try. Here it's like the little prompt. So I didn't notice, but I think I left journals. Oh yeah, there you go. It says journal number 2. So those are the homework she left us for the summer. to start with AP art. And here it says real life drawing, homework, and then the other one says journal number 3, and then ideas. So this one was a still life, and that was on July 26th. And homework, real life drawing number 5, and here I was still kind of debating. I was still debating if I should do the medieval knives or maybe do the 7 sins, but I think it was going to be very complicated, and I thought that everybody was going to do the 7 deadly sins. I'm not talking about the anime, I'm talking about like the actual 7 deadly sins. And I decided to do this still life drawing. I was running out of time. It was, I think, July. It was already to start. And then one of the other homework we had was to do a journal and kind of go to the High Museum or go to the museum and just sketch. That was one of the sketch I did while I was there. It was like a still life. They had this statue, or they had this sculpture there, so I was trying to draw it, and we went to a friend group. It was very nice, and that was the homework that I was trying to accomplish at the same time. Okay, next, that was a drawing or a sketch I did for a convention. I was trying to do a cosplay. It's VK is like a Japanese kind of rock kind of influence outfit, so I was very into it, and I kind of did my own design for kind of going to the convention. So that was a little of what I was writing. And then at here there was like a like or dislike that we were supposed to do when I was in school as well. I think that's when I started going to school. There you go. So one of the assignments our teacher had or told us to do was to mimic or create a piece but with fruits. So we were supposed to do, there was this piece from an seascape, and you see the original drawing was supposed to have, like, this is just the outline. If you guys, I'm probably gonna put on here a picture of actually the piece, how it looks. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of the actual piece that I did. That was the assignment because it was a long time ago, and I guess I didn't keep it. I left it to the teacher so she can use it for reference. But we were supposed to replace certain areas with fruits, so I replaced it with pears. And then here we were supposed to write a kind of a journal about it, so I wrote kind of a journal of how the piece was going to look, so I had to do a thumbnail for that. Okay, so here's the fun part. So I started doing some studies about medieval knives and kind of design. Definitely this is very, very sketchy, and yeah. So the thing is, I was writing about what I think, well, when you hear medieval time, that was my catchphrase. So I decided to do this guy. I wanted to do a knife, but kind of gothic style, like kind of a Final Fantasy boss looking. And I did the piece. I'm going to show a few pictures of how the piece actually turned out. So this was a thumbnail. The teacher was telling me that I was putting too much effort on the thumbnail. This was August 23rd of 2010. So I definitely still like it, and I like how I changed the tones and stuff like that. And here, I think my sister was working on doing a study or a concentration about visual K. So I was trying to show her kind of doing a little of what could she be doing for a study. What I did was kind of doing one of the members of Nightmare. That's a Japanese rock band member that I really liked it back then. So I wrote even first concentration and stuff like that, themes and stuff like that in here. So it was very much in journal kind of writing. And the study, now this is one of my favorite pieces. Honestly, until this day, I'm not gonna say I don't like none of my drawings or none of that. I feel like I put so much effort into it, or the story behind, and I feel like sometimes that's why it's good to keep your old drawings so you can go back and feel the emotions you were writing in. So, and here I had a lot going on. I wanted to portray death at the same time with two knives fighting. I'm gonna show how the piece actually turned out. But while I was sketching all that and the details, I even did a journal of how I came up with that idea about this piece. So I was writing the story, I was doing the thumbnail, and at the same time I was doing what gave me that idea of creating this concentration. So I want to show you guys a little of kind of comparing both. So this is still my favorite, even if it's not completed and stuff like that. That was 2010, and this drawing I have is from 2017, so that's not even latest. But I always like to compare them because this was nights with metal painting and stuff like that, and this is now, or not now, but 2017. One of the nights I did. If I probably gonna be doing a knife soon, so we can compare that for 2023. But this was 2017, and this was 2010. So there was a difference of 7 years between these two pieces. Okay, this was a self-portrait. I was supposed to do a self-portrait. Back then I had my short hair and kind of remember this picture. But I did a self-portrait, and that was supposed to be for the study or what the teacher was expecting us to create. And then after I did that, I created it with charcoal. It was charcoal, or it was this other paste. I forgot the name of it. Ugh. Anyways, so here is another one. I still have the piece. I might show another picture of the finished piece of this one. I really liked it because I was trying to portray the past, how they used to look, and in the future they're just all vanished and they're just history. So that's one of the things I did here real quick in sketch. I did like a study of soldier fading over time, and I just wanted to write what actually got me that kind of idea of creating this piece or this thumbnail to show it or creating for the concentration. Okay, the next piece or the next paper here, it was one of a thumbnail was from the piece I did for the concentration as well. And I didn't finish the thumbnail, but I did finish the piece. I probably will be showing the piece, how it looked. Honestly, one of my favorite, but it got really messy, to be honest. If I'm gonna be honest with myself, I didn't like this part. It got too messy with the horse. I didn't understand anatomy. It didn't match. I didn't like it, that area. So I kind of liked this part only, but I had to turn in the job. So that was the whole thing. I was running out of time. And I have a few more stuff. Oh, this one. I really liked the original piece. I mean, the final piece, because it actually looks like a guitar or a violin or a instrumental. I can't remember the name of it. But I'll show a picture of how it turned out. And this was the thumbnail. And then I was trying to write a little kind of a diary of how that I came up with this piece about the knife kind of melting due to them wearing all these armor and kind of going against time, and just them melting because of everything. So okay. And then I had a note that the teacher put that I had a 91 average point, which is 8+, and then some paper I left here. And then this other one piece I did, this is a thumbnail. I didn't finish it. I'll post probably the final piece of how it looked. So I was kind of playing around of what I was gonna do, and then here a little story or what's the background. So here I was trying to explain or tell the teacher how did I came up with this piece. Some studies, trying to do work on what I see, drawings, and I had a few work that I done, and then I had to put it on my journal as well. That's another piece. I don't think did it. I don't think I finished it. I don't think I even started it. But that was a thumbnail, that a piece I wanted to create. Again, the teacher was saying it was a little too animated, which you guys can understand what she means by that. Just showing you guys my previous drawing. I think she just wanted to say that I didn't have good lights, kind of drawing where the light was going. But yeah, you can definitely see the difference of kind of realism and kind of with animated. So that was one of the things. Oh, that's one of my favorites. So I did 2 times this piece. So I did this piece 2 times, and the reason why I did it 2 times is that was when I was in high school. I turned it in, completed. I might show the art of how it looked. And then when I was already out of school, I wanted to redraw it. So here I was showing how the piece looked, or kind of giving information how did I came up with the idea. So that was a thumbnail of how I did it. Oh, and this one was also one of my favorites. Oh my god, I have to be honest, I don't hate my drawings of how I used to draw. It's just I really like how I used to come up with so many things, and it's because everything had a meaning, and that's why it's always keep bringing it up. That's why it's always good to bring or keep your old drawings, so you can go back and just feel and remember what each thing have a meaning behind. So this one was I think one of my last on my concentration, and I really liked how it turned out. I'll post a picture, and the reason why I really liked it is because that's when I started to do Bic. As you guys can tell, this is how I used to work with Bic. It was a little too messy, and here it's one that currently one of the recent kind of drawing I did. You guys can see how it's a little different. It's kind of scratching or going all over the places. Well, here it goes smooth, and you can barely see the cross hatching. While here you can definitely see the cross hatching. You can definitely see where I was kind of fixing things, and then I just went different kind of sides on the cross hatching. While here I'm just going constantly in one area, or have 2 different kind of shading going on. Same here, you guys can see this is again 2022 last year. Oh no, I think this is 2023 this year. I did it on January. So you guys can see the difference with Big Pen. This was in high school, and this is like a few months ago. So I really like this piece because I was trying to tell a story behind it. If you guys know about the Crusades and their story behind, I was just trying to write a story about it while doing the artwork. So I was trying to add a lot of symbolism to the art pieces while I was making it for the concentration. And well, I think here I just graduated. I think that was my last concentration. I can see that I kind of stopped being constant with the sketchbook and the diary, because I was doing a lot of manga, and then I graduated. So here was all the thumbnails I had, and I just looking at them, I just remember what I was trying to do. I was trying to do so many things and just study. So here this was after graduation. I was just trying to go back into drawing soldier kind of what's it called, medieval knives. Here's another one. I was instead of doing one with Bic, I was doing it with Microns pen, or inking Prismacolor ink markers or pens. Here's another one. I was trying again to write or create the same thing, trying to bring back, because after graduation I kind of didn't put too much effort on keep doing the diary and doing the drawing. So here's another one trying to track back, and then that will make me cry. That's how you start. That's how you guys can see I start being a mess on my sketchbook. So that will make me cry, and I definitely like and don't like because I messed up so much. So I was just one of my original characters. I was still trying to go back to the scene of drawing some still life. I was being a little behind with drawings and art, trying out a few stuff, and that's when I stopped. Okay, so as you guys can see, I definitely had a sketchbook diary for my senior year, and I definitely see the improvement if I have to see one of the drawings related with knives and just stuff like that. So this was again 2017, 7 years after high school, trying out and just drawing. If you guys can see here the time. And that was, we'll do a sketchbook tour about this one after, but I just wanted to compare them. And this is the one that I finished I think last year, and just missing a few colors, which I'll do another sketchbook tour about this one too. But I wanted to show you guys the improvement. So this sketchbook was for Inktober I did last year. Yeah, Inktober I did for 2021, and I decided to keep drawing using it as a little pocket sketchbook. So here is some big drawings I did from 2021. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just 2021. Another big drawing. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! If you guys don't know, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And here's another big drawing I did of the Dark Magician, just sketching. Another Halloween, I was trying to do Inktober, just a reminder. Exodia, I really like how it turned out using the big color pens. Time Wizard, didn't finish Karibo Dark Magician. I should finish it. And then on 2022, on January 2022, I start sketching on big. So it was just straight up starting from big. And there is another one right here. What's it called? I'm starting to do a lot of sketching or drawing on my Apple tablet. So if you guys don't see anything from 2023, is because most of the things are in the tablet. Here's another one I did with big pen. You guys can see the difference with drawing with big. Just sketching, wanted to do some try practicing it with graphite pencil as well. And just, I don't like smudging with using a smudger. I don't like that, but I was trying something new, and I didn't like it. And then here, just what I showed you guys previously. Oh, that's a sketch I did with graphite pencil, and that's the one I previously showed you guys with big pen, and that's pretty much it on this sketchbook. Okay, so I hope this video help you guys and show a little of how I was doing. The journey was not easy, to be honest. It's still not. I still believe we all need to keep practicing, and I feel there's no stop on mastering something. And I'm aware I've been better in drawing, of course, nowadays, but if I could show you guys probably in the next video of how I used to draw even before, when I was in high school, there's gonna be a huge difference. Imagine from before to now. And I wanted to share you guys that so you guys can see how I apply my tips, and obviously how I was trying to be very diligent with trying out or studying or kind of like working on drawing and getting my artwork better. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right now, and I know this video took a little longer than expected, but I wanted to share with you guys what was the results of my tips that I gave the other day. And obviously it's the being consistent and just keep working, you know. Just a example, the drawing I show of the nights of how I used to draw when I was in high school compared to how I drew when drawing on 2017, and compared to probably if I do another drawing of a night right now, we can compare the 3 stages. Because obviously from 2010 to 2017, you guys can see the difference. Imagine from 2017 to 2023 will be a difference as well. So just keep on your goals, guys, and just know sometimes we have to be very ambitious with our goals and also your passion. So again, thank you very much for watching. If you guys have any comments, any suggestions, and you guys want to share, like this video, or if you guys know someone that it needs advice or inspiration of like, don't give up of drawing and just keep pushing, share this video. This actually will help them to see that, you know, this was just keep your art, like your old drawings, and just later on you'll see the difference. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Au revoir, à la prochaine.